Jungkook used to be your high school bully, but soon you both became good friends. Usual bickering is common among you both, but Jungkook has feelings for you and you thought he is playing with you and he found his new way for bullying. He tutors you at his house and he took you there today as usual. A detailed video of Jungkook teasing and flirting with you is pinned in the comment section below. Please take a look. At Jungkook's house, YN's point of view. Anyway, what's going on here? Jungkook's mother said, gesturing between us. Jungkook looked over at me with a smirk, his eyes sparkling with mischievousness. Oh right, this is YN, she's my girlfriend, he said with a proud smile, subtly shooting me a wink. My eyes widened to an incredible degree as soon as the words girlfriend fell out of his mouth. I'm his girl, what now? Really? You have a girlfriend? She asked in surprise as though the idea of Jungkook dating was a deadly shock to her. I'm not. We are not. Jungkook is a liar. I stuttered out nervously, barely able to form a sentence. Jungkook smiled before bursting into laughter. I'm kidding, Mom. It's YN. You know, the one who used to hate my guts, YN? She came over to study, Jungkook said with a chuckle. Wait, this is that YN? Like YN? She said, scanning me up and down like I was some kind of alien. I had no idea why she was looking at me like that. Maybe, he mumbled quietly, looking slightly embarrassed for some reason. Wow, no wonder you couldn't stop going on about her. She's extremely pretty, his mom said, shooting a wink at Jungkook with a teasing glint in her eyes. Jungkook just groaned loudly and buried his face in his hands. No offense, Mom, but please for the love of God, shut up, he begged. No, please continue, Mrs. John. What else has he told you about me? I asked her curiously. I couldn't tell if his mom was making up things to purposely embarrass him or if she was genuinely telling the truth, but either way, it was hilarious to see how red his face was getting. That's it. We are studying upstairs. Jungkook yanked me in the direction of the stairs. I saw his mom smile at us in amusement as she watched us leave. It was incredibly nice to meet you, YN. Once we were in his room, he slammed his door back with as much as violence as he could. Wow, why didn't you tell me your mom was so awesome? She's hilarious, I said with a chuckle. Of course you would find her funny, he grumbled as he flopped down to his bed. Oh, did mommy embarrass you? I said in a baby voice as I reached out to squeeze his cheeks. Shut up, he mumbled weakly as he swatted away my hands. Nah, I don't think I will. I have a lot more gloating to do. Will you ever be done gloating? Let me think about it, I said, rubbing my chin in pretend thought. Nope, I snorted. He glanced over at me with narrowed eyes before his mouth slowly stretched out into a smirk. Well, I guess I'm going to have to do this. Do what? Before the words were even completely out of my mouth, he jumped on top of me and started to tickle me. I squealed in surprise as he ruthlessly attacked my stomach, causing me to fall on my back and shake with laughter. Stop, Jungkook, stop! I managed to say in between giggles, barely even able to breathe. I'll stop if you promise you won't bring up what my mom said ever again, he bargained. No way, I screamed. He just chuckled and grabbed my wrist and pinned them above my head, while his other hand continued their merciless attack on my body. All you have to do is promise, YN. No, I said stubbornly as I tried to kick him away with my legs. He let out a heavy sigh and sat on top of my legs. Say it, he demanded as he tickled my sides cruelly with an evil smirk on his face. Not being able to take it more, I gave in. Okay, fine, I promise, I screamed. He immediately stopped. Now that wasn't so hard now, was it? He said, smiling down at me with a smug little grin on his face. You're mean, I said breathlessly, still tired from laughing so hard. As he smiled down at me, I gulped, realizing the intimacy of the position we were in. I looked up at him with widened eyes. I knew that would have probably been a good time to tell him to get off, but I didn't. The intensity of his gaze held me captive. His eyes flickered between mine as his face inched closer and closer to mine. Our lips were mere centimeters apart when the door of his room suddenly burst open. "Jesus Christ!" a woman's voice cried in shock. I jumped in surprise and quickly pushed Jungkook off me abruptly, causing him to land on the bed beside me with a loud thud. I looked at the door in panic to see Jungkook's mom. "I see you guys are very busy studying." Jungkook coughed awkwardly and sat up. "Yeah, we were just taking a break. I was showing Ryan some judo moves," Jungkook said with a nervous laugh. I vigorously nodded my head in agreement, deciding to just roll with it. "Wow," his mother let out an incredulous breath of laughter. "Judo certainly looks a lot more intimate than I remember. Do you put your face that close to all your male opponents, Jungkook? Or is it Ryan just a special case?" she teased. My cheeks immediately started heating up like crazy because it was blatantly obvious that we were lying. She wasn't buying any of these judo things. Well, I might not have been practicing it in the exact same way I normally do, Jungkook mumbled as he bowed his head down a little. After a few seconds of everyone just staring at each other in awkward silence, his mother finally cleared her throat. "Well, anyway, the reason I came up here was to ask if Ryan wanted to stay for dinner," she said as she looked over at me with a warm smile. "Are you sure? I wouldn't want to intrude on your family dinner," I explained hesitantly. "No, don't be silly. I would love for you to stay. I have so many questions to ask you," she said as she shot Jungkook an evil look. "No!" Jungkook exclaimed with fearful eyes. "No questions, Mom. You'll ask her nothing." She just let out a laugh as she turned to leave. "I'll call you downstairs in an hour or so. Okay, guys?" she said with a smile. "Oh, leave the door open. I don't want you guys practicing judo behind closed doors," she said with a smirk as she propped the door open behind her. As soon as she was gone, I didn't waste any time before smashing my head into Jungkook's pillow and proceeding to scream into it. His pillowcase smelled deliciously like him, further driving home what I had almost let happen. I can't believe I was going to kiss him. I clearly needed psychiatric help. This was Jungkook we were talking about. The same moron who once stole my gym clothes as a joke. The same guy who told our whole 8th grade class that I was. And the same guy who on the very first day I met him kicked a ball at my face. He had been acting like my annoying little brother for the past 6 years. So why on earth would I just try and kiss him? That was so weird. Well, that was an awkward time for her to walk in. "Look, what just happened a couple of minutes ago was extremely weird. So please can we agree to not ever speak of it again?" I mumbled in desperation. Yeah, of course, Ryan," he said as he gave me a tight-lipped smile, a smile which I noticed didn't quite seem to meet his eyes. "Now let's actually get to studying." I never thought I would ever end up eating dinner at John's household. I couldn't help but giggle a little as I saw Dylan, Jungkook's little brother, aimlessly stabbing at his food. He was clearly struggling to cut through his pork chop. "Let me help you, buddy." Jungkook pulled Dylan's plate towards him before starting to cut it up into pieces for him. His actions caused a tingle to spread through my heart, and I found myself shamelessly staring at Jungkook with a foolish smile on my face. "Yeah, thanks, Jungkook." I tried to focus back on eating, but I couldn't help myself and my eyes soon drew back to Jungkook's like magnets. We had almost kissed. Was this just not a big deal to him or something? Maybe it was part of his daily routine to kiss someone who is his friend, just to be a little devil and screw with their head. Who knows? Oh wait, am I the distraction chick? You know the chick you kissed to prove you still have the game? He probably needed a confidence boost after being rejected by girls so many times. It was weird to choose your friend as that girl, but I guess it was possible. "Ryan, are you alright? You look a little ill." His mom asked, staring at me. No, I'm fine, just a little tired." I could feel the heat of Jungkook's gaze, as though he was desperately trying to read my mind. "Cookie, staring at Ryan for that long isn't very polite," his mother said. Stop calling me Cookie, Mom, Jungkook whined under his breath in a barely audible voice. So, is this your first time at our house, Ryan? Just as I was about to answer, Dylan piped up. Yeah, Mummy, Ryan comes here all the time. I like her so much. She's so funny and pretty and plays so many video games with me. And she's way better at them than Jungkook. Debatable, Jungkook muffled out in a cough. Jealous little devil. But we can never play for more than an hour before Jungkook drags her upstairs with him so they can study. Dylan spat out in disgust. They study so much. It's so annoying. And Jimin said I should never bother them unless I knock loudly. Dylan said with a pout. Jungkook and I immediately stopped chewing and froze in shock. Because Jesus, did that sound bad? It totally sounded as though we were ditching Dylan so we could go play around upstairs, especially after what she had witnessed around an hour ago. I'm guessing there was some judo practice up there as well. His mom snapped sassily. I groaned and sunk lower in my chair, knowing this was going to be a long dinner. It was the following day. Chloe, May and I were all sat around at our school's cafeteria tables. Afternoon, ladies. I heard Jimin's voice sing from behind me, causing me to jump in shock. I saw that he was also accompanied by Jungkook. Why the hell did he have to sit next to me? Couldn't he tell from my avoidance of eye contact that I didn't want him anywhere near me? No offense, but why are you two idiots sitting here? May snapped bluntly. Jimin chuckled. You have such a delicate way with words, don't you, Red? He said. Well, firstly I came over because I like annoying you, Jimin said as he bobbed her nose. May let out a growl and attempted to bite his finger. Jimin didn't seem too surprised by the attack and continued to talk as though nothing had happened. And secondly, because we wanted to invite you guys to the party I'm hosting tonight, Jimin said with a grin. Oh, a chance to trash your house and eat your food. Wouldn't miss it, May said almost immediately with an evil smirk on her face. I wasn't exactly permitting you to trash my house, but sure, if that's what gets you to come, then whatever, he shrugged. Not that I care if you come or not, Jimin added quickly as an afterthought. Nice save, Jungkook snorted. Yeah, I'm in, Chloe said with a happy smile. What about you, Chubbs? Jungkook asked curiously. I have got a lot of work, I said honestly, still stubbornly refusing to turn my head. I knew if I got one look at his eyes, my judgment would immediately be compromised. After all, I'm pretty sure it was his stupid eyes that got me to lose my sanity the other night and almost kiss him. Come on, Ryan, I'll be there. And that's supposed to be a good selling point? Well, of course it is, he said with a confident smirk. I'll think about it, I finally said. My party dress made me feel a little exposed and self-conscious. I blushed at the thought of Jungkook seeing me wearing this. He's probably going to start hooting with laughter before taking a picture, so he captures the day. Ryan becomes a... I made my way out of the bathroom to show the others. As soon as they saw me, their eyes widened and they just stared at me in silence for an incredibly long time. God, Ryan, you look so hot, Chloe exclaimed. Yikes, poor Jungkook, May said. The poor guy gets a when you simply look at him. So, who knows what's gonna happen when he sees you in this? You're an actual idiot. No, he doesn't, I snapped. Just look at his pants, okay, sweetie? You'll see what I mean, she whispered as she patted me on the shoulder. Well, on that note, let's get going. As soon as I jumped off the last step of the stairs, my mom immediately appeared from the living room. Repeat the sentences to me. Mom, do I have to? Chloe and May are right here. It's embarrassing. Repeat the sentences, Ryan, or you're not going. And put on your jacket for heaven's sake. I will not do drugs. I will not do it with strangers. And I most definitely will not get pregnant. Happy? I spat out in between gritted teeth. I could faintly hear the giggles of my two idiot best friends behind me, further digging into the shame. You got one of them wrong, Ryan. You're not allowed to do it at all. Yeah, I know. You need to relax, Mom. I haven't even kissed anyone before. I'm hardly going to skip through all the bases in one night, am I? I said with a chuckle as I headed for the door while my friends were waiting for him. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Love you, honey, she called out. May immediately turned to me with a teasing smirk as we walked to the car. So, why would you change it to not doing it with strangers instead of not doing it with anyone? Do you have someone in mind? I'm not doing it with anyone, May, especially not Jungkook. So stop with the teasing, I snapped in annoyance. As soon as the words left my mouth, Chloe and May stopped dead in their tracks. They looked at me and then at each other before they completely lost it and started to howl with laughter. What's so funny? I whined, feeling left out from the joke. Nobody said you were going to do it with Jungkook, Ryan. You brought him up all by yourself. Chloe finished, causing both her and May's laughter to intensify even further. I felt the blood drain from my face, realizing how badly I just messed up. I hate you guys, I grumbled bitterly. For more videos, please subscribe this channel. Have a great day, dear ones. Bye.